Alright, welcome back. This is Raj of Convert Industries, and this is SaaSx1E. Yeah, this was going to be about how do you like just on your on the idea of side quests, on your on harnessing or channeling your side quest energies. So this is a pretty close one for me because I myself am like very yeah I like doing a whole bunch of other stuff than my main stuff. As in, I use the side stuff as a break from my main stuff. Uh, I have this this habit of I have this hobby of changing hobbies is the way to put it. Yeah, I have this hobby of just like trying out new hobbies. So that's kind of a hobby, and also giving up on them. So there's that. I mean, I very easily like just move on to the next thing. I get bored. It's like a kid with a toy. So there's that. Uh, how do you channel those for a long term gain rather than just like yeah how do I say this uh yeah just wasting all this energy is my is something that I've been meditating upon lately. Uh yeah, how do you uh all this, I mean, a lot of people like there's a whole bunch of way people address this, just being too distracted or like ADHD or whatever. Yeah. Uh, so yes, how do you address this? How do you channel your side quest energies? Is the question of this video. Uh, well, it might be good to tackle it domain wise or like one place at a time. So how I personally do it is yeah, I mean, by the way, this is like a hierarchical thing. So this happens across all domains, be it fitness or computer science or just reading or yeah, anywhere. So it's applicable everywhere homogeneously in the sense that I have this tendency to just find out the next side quest or find out the next thing that interests me. Now that is cool and all, but then how could one use it to 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 accumulate experience or to compound gains from these side quests? Uh, that is where, uh, rather than thinking of these side quests as side quests, you cook up a long-term meta quest. So something like the this something like Conware or something like the Bitmage. It is sort of a meta quest. I mean, it is not a side quest in the sense that I wouldn't say it's like a hobby thing that I do. It's an auxiliary sidecar hobby that just fits in with everything that I do. So if tomorrow I decide to, I don't know, uh, start writing novels or like get into some science fiction, I could still talk about it here. Uh, or I find out a new side hobby or whatever, I could still talk about it here. I could talk about the nature of whatever. So having these sort of meta quests is a good way to sort of accumulate all your side quest experience. That's one. Uh, Now, a very pragmatic example of how I'm doing that in my in the domain of computer science. Go check out the other channel as well. The Bitmage should be there somewhere in the links for this channel or at the end of this video or yeah, the end cards or something like that. Uh, Software engineering is like a pretty diverse and pretty extensive domain in the sense that there's a whole bunch of patterns, there's a whole bunch of stuff to do, whole bunch of stuff to learn if you're sort of trying to climb up the seniority ladder. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff to accumulate. Uh, Given AI, you can do a whole bunch of side quests pretty easily right now, and there's a whole bunch of throwaway software. So, uh, now this is the condition. This is like a precondition. So like, what is the current state of the world? So a quick way I went about this is just like establish a long running, uh, composable, modular, agentic engineering pipeline that will allow me to like experiment pretty frequently and churn out scientific vlogs out of those so that I can like uh, keep my keep myself in the loop. So the BitMage being a YouTube channel, a sidecar YouTube channel to my career, helps me document those side quest energies and be reasonable about them and not just forget as to like what I did and what are the mistakes I've made. So yeah, there's that. Having a long running log or sort of an append only output stream to what you've been learning, to what you've been finding out, to what you've been doing is sort of a nice way to go about things. And okay, so the best example of like a meta quest or like a like an auxiliary sidecar or yeah, that sort of thing is a having a blog or having a video essay channel or just like writing things by yourself in a journal. I mean, I do that as well, but then it doesn't give you the kick of like just putting stuff out there and having videos of you just talking about something out there is like very convenient. You can just like send stuff to anyone whenever you find out that you've already thought about this, whenever you encounter a pre-thought conversation chain in conversations. So this is pretty handy for ego driven personalities. Having you rambling out there on the internet is pretty nice. So there's that. uh yeah. So yeah, it's like a nice side thing to do that like gives you a small hit of dopamine or whatever. Oh, by the way, from the last video, compounding boredom, given that I have given up all sorts of video and audio entertainment, so no music, no podcasts, no YouTube videos, no Netflix or whatever. It's been a day. It's been fine. I've survived, so I guess it's okay. And the happy thing is, the good thing is, I this is my next video within like 24 hours of like that video. So yeah, as anticipated, statistically, given more boredom being compounded over the day, I have more things to speak on. So there's that. Yeah, I do see myself as a consequence of that. I do see myself like surfing the internet in an old-fashioned manner and going through articles and blogs from like what the early 2000s and 1990s and yeah, yeah. So just like reading stuff slow. I mean, this false sense of urgency is also something that I could talk about. Uh, yeah, everyone is just like hurrying for no particular reason. They just like look busy, I guess. But yeah, I mean, of course, when you have like a mission-oriented goals and like whatever, it's good to be productive. It's good to yeah, whatever. But I feel like there should be an explicit aspect to your day when you are being very deliberate with what you're doing and like you're being kind of methodical and or even if not that, you're being kind of chill. So like what you plan to do or like how you're gonna go about it. Uh, so there's that. And yes. So getting back to side quests. There's a whole bunch of guilt as well associated with people just doing side quests other than their main quests. So uh, I was also meditating upon strategies to mitigate that. Uh, this is more of a very I don't know a metaphysical upgrade that you can have. I personally when I used to write about polymathy and when I was getting into it a long time back, around 5 years ago, when I started getting into it, I started. Okay, epistemology was also sort of a core interest of mine, and it still is. I just haven't been like. actively thinking about epistemology. By the nomenclature, it is addressed as epistemology, like actively, lately. I mean, of course, I philosophically think about knowledge all the time. Uh, but yeah, I don't think about it. Yeah, I'm like thinking epistemologically about this particular aspect right now. So that's been more of a subconscious thing for the past couple of years. Uh, yeah. So uh, when you get into polymathy or this philosophical theory of knowledge, epistemology, or you just try and break down knowledge in general, uh, what has helped me is breaking down abstractions into their constituents and comparing them side by side and noticing that what really matters are like, okay, can be framed in two things. It's the differences between two abstractions, and it's the commonalities between two abstractions. Or if you look at an abstraction tree, if you look at the commonalities between two abstractions, it could be abstracted out into a higher order abstraction. And if you look at the differences, uh, you can go down the tree and see the specific nodes. So note that I talked about this being a tree. So this natural order of actions that you can perform on two abstractions. These two abstractions could be anything, could be two different domains, could be two different ideas or whatever. These two actions that I offered to abstract out the commonalities into a higher order abstraction, uh, or a root node for these two particular subnodes, or observing the children of these two abstractions to find out more differences between them. Uh, yeah, this gives the idea that something like the set of abstractions can be modeled or can be related as a tree. Now, this need not be the same tree again and again. I mean, depending on how you choose to see the abstractions, like based on like perspectives and views and stuff. Yeah, you can have a different way of abstracting out higher order abstractions. So like you work along different dimensions, but it's still a tree. So it's a projection along a certain belief space that allows you to map the whole world of abstractions into trees. And by the way, because you could do this for any two abstractions, my assumptions were based on just having two abstractions. You could find out something that is common between them versus what was different between them. So you can go up and down the tree. So you could iterate, you could by mathematical induction, by abstract mathematical induction, by very hallucinatory mathematical induction, you could map out all of the world and its abstraction into an abstraction tree. Uh, there could be cycles as well and stuff. So we could say it's a graph. Now, the global epistemological knowledge graph, or epistemological cartography, as I like to call it, is what I've been doing. So that is the first video of this channel, I think. Not this, yeah, probably first or the second. There is an epistemological cartography channel in there somewhere, where uh, thinking in terms of graphs of nodes of knowledge or domain or abstractions sort of blurs the boundary between thinking of something as a side quest energy, as a side quest domain, a side quest effort, versus whatever you're going for. So you're just gathering more context in a different manner. If you look at it from different perspectives, it allows you to what perform better in your main quest, to say the least. Now, there has to be some effort in how, probably, I don't know, learning the piano will help you be a better software engineer, or I don't know, being a better listener of music, or having good taste, or being a hobbyist listener will probably improve the way you play football or something, I guess. I mean, there could be a whole bunch of thought that needs to be applied into it for really abstracting out the true essence of it. But the point is, you can do it. And the reason that I've learned this is like our like with speaking with experience, uh, my brain and usually human brains are very good at convincing ourselves of something that we want to be true. So I bet there's a law for this, like a something law, or a phenomenon name for this, that human brains just convince themselves of like what they want to be true. Uh, so I mean, if everything is so I would say like fluid in terms of beliefs and stuff, and not a Boolean true or false or a logic sort of thing. Why not use it to your advantage? Is my next yeah, construction of arguments. Ah, so yes. So yeah, why not use it to your advantage is my next construction of arguments. I have been doing that. Now, I mean, I am a human that observes himself, and yeah, I cannot deny my true tendencies. I cannot just deny them. I mean, if they exist, they exist. If I can convince myself of something that I want to be true, okay, I mean, cool. I will use that power. I guess I will use that superpower. I mean, even though it's wrong or right. I mean, if you think hard about it enough, if you think about it hard enough, uh, you could also do it the other way, in the sense that if you think about it too much, you'll be like everything that you think is just you convincing yourselves of something being right. So yeah. So yeah, I was like, let's just chill out and use whatever powers I have for my own benefit, and rid myself of the guilt of indulging in too many side quests. So yeah, since then, uh, this also makes the idea of focus really malleable. This makes all ideas really malleable, because if you look at everything from a perspective of a knowledge graph, an epistemological cartograph, uh, based on different dimensions that you view it from, or different perceptions or different projections along different belief spaces, assumption spaces, assumption hyperspaces. Uh, yeah, you could just you could just you could just relate any two things with any two things, like anything with anything, and yeah, be kind of just move on with your day. So I mean, for the longest of times, I was thinking of like having a cognitive game where I see very two foreign objects, and I quickly, okay, cognitive games is something that I quick like I sort of do a whole bunch of, in the sense that every time I'm bored or I'm outside, I'm always like on the hunt for a new cognitive game as to like what all could I do with my mind right now, as to like, so one of such games is like whenever I see two particular abstractions, uh, I quickly start noting down the differences and what's the higher order abstraction between them. Now, if you're like really bored, this kind of gets really interesting really fast, cause you could be very what uh very you could the level of difficulty that you play it with is really malleable as well, as in like I could pick a cup of coffee, and I could I don't know, uh pick pick a dustbin. Yeah, and I see there's a whole bunch of common abstractions in there. Yeah, both are sort of topologically, I mean, what matters to me, apart from this handle, topologically both are the same. As in, yeah, they're like flat disks if you exclude the handle, because I never use the handle. But yeah, the question is, what are the differences then? Like, it's like, I mean, I could drink coffee in a dustbin too, but then why do I not? or yeah, it's like a whole bunch of other stuff. The material that it's made in, why is it the way it is, or what's common or what's different about them? How did it happen to be? What is the root abstraction of those two? What is the root idea for those two? So, for example, uh, yeah, yeah, let's keep it at that. I mean, you could go easy mode as well, where you think of I don't know, the air around me versus the coffee in this. I guess both are fluids, both flow some way. Uh, what's different? There's like a first density differences, and you could drink, and then you start thinking about like difference in densities of fluids and what makes something drinkable. So, for example, if this coffee was less dense, I would not be able to drink it. Less dense in the sense that it was like probably like uh, into 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 like I don't know, fused into the air or something. There's still caffeine in it. I'd probably have to snort it. So these sort of interesting ideas start coming up. So yeah, uh, yeah. So this cognitive game of like just doing differences and what's the higher order abstraction keeps me busy whenever I'm bored. Uh, this is one of the games, by the way. I still keep on coming up with them from time to time, all the time. I'm like, yeah, I found a new game. I never note them anywhere because like I am of the belief that if it is important enough, I will remember it by myself and it will come to me again. So I have these unusual beliefs that are funny because I have created them just so I can live a lazy life, a lazy cognitive life. Uh, so there's that. Yeah. Uh, Now, given the knowledge that I've weaponized you with, that I have given you, uh, go on, find side quests and relate them with your main quests so that you can rid yourself of the guilt of not focusing enough on your main quest and have fun, is the point of this video, I guess. Uh, yeah, thanks for tuning in. I will see you in the next one. Statistically speaking, that should also be pretty soon because, yeah, boredom is compounding. I am thinking of more interesting thoughts and coming up with more games with more frequency. Cause, yeah, yesterday, okay, I I I I traveled a bunch yesterday. Okay, I am like explicitly being aware of like the amount of times that I want to like let's say scroll or let's say put on some podcast or let's say put on some background music or whatever. So it happens during like when you're commuting, and commuting is a pretty sizable chunk of the day, probably an hour, uh, accumulating everything, the walks, even when having dinner or lunches. So I'm not watching anything during dinner or lunch as well. So there's that. Any basically whenever I'm not working or not thinking about work or not thinking about any like uh, rigorous, whenever I'm not thinking rigorously about something, uh, yeah, this thing goes off in my brain where I'm like, yeah, what next? What do I think about now? So this idea of being okay with not thinking about anything, uh, or like thinking about stuff without attachment to the results, or being productive, or yeah, I guess that is something that I'm entertaining. I mean, anyway, this is better than scrolling, I bet. So scrolling I find to be sort of a recon, a reconnaissance, a reconno. My French is spotty right now. Recon, yeah, I'll just say recon. Uh, Recon, yeah, reconnaissance, nah. Okay, recon, yeah. I find scrolling to be a good local recon for what's happening on the weekend and stuff, and yeah, I've been missing that. But I guess like it's good to just like have a friend who scrolls for you. It's like have a subordinate around you that scrolls for you and just ask them what is it, what is happening around the city. Like just like yeah, do that rather than like scrolling every day. I guess that's fun. Uh yeah, I'm gonna I will be doing that as well, like what is happening on the weekend. Just like have a friend, like a dedicated scroller. Hire a scroller. Uh and be like, yeah, you find out what is happening over the weekend in terms of my interests and what do you think will be good for me or whatever. So do that. Yeah, that'll be fun. Uh, cool. So again, uh, enjoy side quests, relate them to your main quests, and have fun. This was Raj of Conver Industries. I talked about side quest energies. Uh, yeah, also don't forget to like create a meta quest or a long running sidecar project that supports all of your main as well as side quests. So something like this blog or the video essays or whatever I do, the writing and stuff helps me in that. That is also really good for your mental fitness, your mental health. Uh, yeah, I think that's it. That's all. That's mostly it. Thanks for tuning in. I am probably going to see you soon. Yeah.